Good afternoon. Welcome to the special council meeting of Whitewater Township for Wednesday, May 11th, 2022 at 4:47 p.m. As we gather, we would like to acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. And at this time, then, I'll ask any council members any declaration of interest for this evening for special meeting. Seeing none, we'll move on to 3.1, tender rehabilitation of Cameron Street. Recommendation that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approve the award of tender 2022-05 rehabilitation of Cameron Street, Earl Street, and Vera Crescent to H&H Construction at a cost of $2,393,408.05, inclusive of non-refundable HST. Motion and seconder, please. Councillor Mackay and Councillor Olmsted. Thank you. And this goes to Lane.
Yes, thank you. So this report is for the tender of the ward of Cameron Street in Earl and Vera Crescent. The tender closed on May 4th, and the township received 3 bids ranging from $2.6 million to $3 million. And the tender price was 22% higher than JP2G's estimate. Also included in the tender was provisional items, and also included a pathway shown from Earl Street to Vera Crescent. There were 2 options. One was a stone dust pathway, and one was a asphalt pathway. And staff are recommending, with the cost savings of a 3-meter stone dust pathway. Addition to the tender also included some works for the schoolyard, including the parking, the main parking lot, and also parking lot on Earl Street, which will be cost back to the school board. H&H tender also provided a schedule, which them starting on June 3rd. They'll be starting in Vera Crescent and not near the school, and with completion by the 22-23 school year. There was a public open house held on April 21st, and the budget did include this project with a $2.15 million debenture through the 22 capital budget. As stated previous, the tender does include almost $240,000 worth of provisional items that we hopefully won't use, and staff are recommending a 3% contingency. With the budget provided, with the debenture, there is shown as a 10-year, 15-year, and 20-year. Staff are recommending a 10-year debenture, but that will be bought back once the completions has been done, and also once the final costs can be applied for the debenture. Thank you.
Any questions? Councillor Olmsted, please.
Yeah, just looking at the map here. So Cardell Street, is that a relatively new street? So the one that's not in the scope of the work?
That's correct. Yeah, it was done after these streets.
Okay, and is it? I forget your terms for pavement, but is it actually a paved street or a stone? Not a stone dust, but a
DST. No, it's actually pavement. Yeah, for the first Cameron Street itself to the school is 2 lifts. Then Vera is 1 lift as per the geotechnical.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Councillor Nicholson, please.
Sorry, Elaine, just the school buses and the pickup, has that been factored in? Like, are we making any allowances on that street for the way the school buses will park to do pickups at that school?
Yes, with working with the school, right now the processes will be changing. With the new parking lot configured, they will be pulling into the schoolyard, dropping off, and then pulling back out onto Earl, and then onto Cameron. I believe right now they turn around on Vera, but that will be changing.
Good. And the library, where will the parking be for the public library in the schoolyard there?
So there will be on the actual self, with the parking lot, there will be, it's a paved parking lot instead of gravel. And then also there's a parking lane right in front of the school on Cameron all the way through, including, and then there also will be 2 barrier-free spots also on the on-street parking.
The library. Okay, so and I'm only familiar with the way the school used to have the buses. They used to use that parking lot, and then you couldn't park in it. Is that still going to be the case?
No, there will be staff parking.
Okay.
Inside, then there will be a designated lane for the school buses.
Okay. Good. And that gravel path is that, the stone dust path is between Vera and Earl is on that path allowance, or I don't know what else to call it, but municipal property that joins those 2 properties?
That's correct.
Good. And I know this may not be the time, but just because we're on this area, was just that access to the water main at the end of Cardinal? Is this an opportunity for us to take advantage of the work being done to get that looked at the same time?
For the, for the Borker?
Yeah. Or no? Different conversation.
Different conversation, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Questions? Seeing none? Oh, Councillor McLaughlin.
I'm just wondering, Lane, will this is going to take care of the ditching problem that was on Vera Crescent, as well as, are they going to do anything with that pond?
The pond won't be touched, but all the ditching on Cameron and Vera will be done.
Okay, because there needed to be some improvements done on that. So I'm glad to hear that. I've got quite a few comments about the ditching on Vera Crescent. So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no other questions, call for a vote. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Now we move on to 3.2, Active Transportation Land Purchase Update. Recommendation that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region move into closed session at 4:55 p.m. as permitted under Section 9 of the procedural bylaw regarding the receiving of advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, and proposed or pending acquisition, disposition of land by the municipality and local board, with staff participating in the meeting to discuss an active transportation land purchase. Motion and seconder, please. Councillor Mackay and Councillor Nicholson. So we are now in closed session. Thank you.